it's ever increasing. We average 2,200 cases a year at the missing persons detail, and that number has been increasing every year. Now, I'm happy to say that in the majority of those cases, at least 90%, we find them all. And in most of those cases with happy endings, we reunite them with their family members. But as the population continues to increase in Los Angeles County, the number just mathematically is going to go up.
These big circles that's how far she could have walked in an hour, and that's how far she could have walked in 2 hours. Look how big these things are. It's soul sucking. The first night, right, I didn't sleep, and I went at 4 o'clock in the morning, I drove back up to Lackland to drive up and down the streets looking for her. And you get up there and you just realize how huge the area is, and it's just, it's kind of hard to take. Nancy was a big, really likes music a lot. One of the guys she likes is this guy, Mark Lanigan. And we took an annual outing to Joshua Tree with friends, and we goofed around a lot. We were into backpacking and so on, so here's a good picture of her out on the trail. This is a common picture we put on flyers because her hair is not well done, and she doesn't have her normal big smile for a picture for it. So this might be sort of similar to how somebody might encounter her now, so we use that quite a bit.
My traveling kit contains flyers in 3 languages, English, Spanish, and Tagalog. This is the latest photo of Nancy, aged here as she was then, together with contact information. The frustrating thing, and we're out of ideas. We don't know what to do except repeat what we've done before.
Go back to the
same
homes
places.
that we haven't been for over a year.
And at the end of the day, you get depressed because, again, you've failed.
You know, the not knowing and worrying about her welfare is it's all encompassing. I mean, I don't fall asleep at night or wake up in the morning without thinking about that within minutes.
This task force is a result of Nancy. I thought we could do better. We could figure out how to have a better first responder protocol. We could figure out a better way to immediately surround a family and offer them some hope, some feeling that we were going to do everything we could to bring their loved ones back. I want to have the best possible program for LA County residents.
Several years back, Aiden had already, by then, had a few encounters with our local PD, all for the same reason, which is that he had eloped or gone missing. He came down this way. He came through here and down the hill and down onto York. He was out for a long time. You know, the dispatcher said to me when I called 911, I said, my son is missing, he's autistic. And they said, well, that does match the description of a juvenile we picked up. They've been taken to a local hospital, and I can't share with you any further information. Even as well prepared as we were You know, the house was always on lockdown. We had been working on these issues with Aiden for years. We had visual aids. Even so, this happened. The typically developing child, you know, might hide or might be mischievous and might worry their parents, but in the end, you know, there's a desire to find home. But with the autistic child, I think there's really I don't think they feel lost at all. They are going somewhere. They have a goal in mind, but they can't communicate that with us.
Ready? Back.
Nice. All right. I think in training our first responders, everybody wins. They are much more confident going into these situations of options that they can fall back on and alternatives to using force or restraint. You know, everybody in these incidents wants de-escalation. I've already heard of, you know, about 20 saves. And what that means is, you know, the lieutenant will call me and say, we had another save today, meaning that they encountered somebody with a developmental disability, and rather than using force or escalating the situation, the officers had options, and they were able to de-escalate because of the training.
That's picking up that transmitter right there. Okay, how this works is directional. We train them in a patrol training day. In an hour, we set them up in teams. We taught them how to operate this equipment and had them locate 3 transmitters.
So we are at the residence of one of our clients. He's a 20-year-old autistic male, and his name's Brandon, and he's one of our bigger runners. So he's probably one of the clients that we pay a lot of attention to because we've already had to do a couple searches on him. So no problems or anything like that? No walking away?
No.
It's still working out well to keep this in his backpack?
Yes, this is his backpack.
Yeah, can you show us
Yes,
where?
so what I do is, because he always takes his backpack, there's like a pouch in here.
Uh-huh.
So I go ahead and
You
put
can go
that
ahead and put that
inside. And then I sew it in. So because the last time that he was found, he removed it,
Yeah.
but now that I sew it,
Uh-huh.
that I sew it in.
The second time Brandon went missing while he was on the program, Javier and I immediately came out, started sending units to the area to look for him. We sent Javier up in our helicopter with the receiver, and he was able to pick up the signal from the helicopter, and that led us to behind the studios over here in Burbank to a wash area that was very, very difficult to get into. And I can safely say that we would have, traditional patrol methods, we would have never found him.
And,
We'll see you in a couple months, okay?
Thank you.
Call if you need anything,
For
okay?
everything.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.
Call us if
Bye.
you need
Bye.
anything.
Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
Bye, you too.
Hi James. How are you? Can we see your keys? Okay. All right. The keys you have in your pocket, can we see them? Okay, we just need to borrow this. You can go ahead and have a seat.
Jim is very athletic. He's a tennis player, golfer. He can hike 4 miles quicker than any 20-year-old. And he could always find his way to the local park and back without any problems. Sometimes he would walk that 5 times a day. And I've always been warned about the wandering. I mean, all the classes I've taken and the workshops. So the last episode was in April of his wandering, and he went to the park, and then I realized after an hour he hadn't come back. And they found him in Bonds, which is about a mile away. The next day we talked and made arrangements to have Project Lifesaver for Jim. And we figured out a way to put on his keychain, and he's used to his keys. He always wants his keys, so he always carries that with him. So I have a much better sense of security with him now.
When you first sign up for the job, you don't see the big picture, you know. it's just the chases and, you know, bad people and the whole jail and all that. But then there's another side, and there's more to it actually that involves this, you know, the communication, providing these people with that protection, you know, and avoid it. All right, so we're just gonna change your battery, okay? Still here, right? Yeah. Okay.
Charlie, I think, has been here 4 or 5 years, and he was fine. And then as he started progressing in his dementia, he started deciding he'd walk home. With this program, they know where he is and they can get him just like that. And I think it is a godsend, and I can't believe that any retirement home doesn't use this service.
Blink. You're ready to go. Thank you, Charlie.
The first year we only had probably about 5 or 6 clients. We are up to 18 clients, and we're getting a lot of phone calls from outside the city of Glendale. That's why it's so important to branch out and get this program outside that city.
Ready? Are you hungry? Oh, yeah. Good.
You know, you really find the impact of the families, and having families come up to you, you know, like Vanessa, when we found Brandon, you know, running out to the car and hugging us, you know. I mean, you really feel the impact from those families.